So now, 2 out of the 3 responses to Kendrick Lamar are no longer available to listen to on DSP. So
and yet people still have Drake 2-0.
What's the 2? One of them is down. He was late putting it up, and then he had to take it down early.
One of them is down, and then the other one is Like That versus Push-Ups. You telling me Push-Ups is better than Like That?
I think it's very interesting what has happened, what has transpired in hip-hop media since Kendrick has gone, 0 Dark 30.
Yes.
And, boy, I want you, Nick, when he come outside, when he drops, and all of you want the access to Kendrick, when y'all all want to go get up under there and twist and crank and give a Gawk 3000 so you can have an interview for the new album or for the tour or what have you. I hope y'all keep this same energy.
Agreed.
I hope y'all keep this same energy. Ebro, Fat Joe,
Maul,
like all of these fucking OVO minions.
Ack is going to be in Drake's
but
corner
we've already known what Ack was going to be, and in that, at least Ack is honest about his bias.
It has been consistent,
right? A lot of you niggas is playing buddy and trying to make sure your albums don't get jammed up, listening to massa,
or your podcast
and you playing it off like rap knowledge, like. So none of y'all had anything to say to tell this nigga to come outside when it was time to respond to Like That. But now that there's been a couple responses to Like That, the immediate, right now, oh, the boogeyman persona is gone. Oh, he's not ever going to respond. So Kendrick Lamar is never going to make music again. He's never going to make music again.
So stupid.
Like, ever again. He's retired now. Drake bodied him. He retired Kendrick Lamar.
2 weeks ago, we were saying the bars weren't even that good. So how's he bodying?
Fam, right? Like I'm trying to fucking pull niggas along for the fucking verse. Not to mention that even to this day, multiple diss tracks later, trolling aside and pieced it up with fucking Rick Ross, who he never responded to, by the way. While we're listing off people who weren't responded to, I still haven't heard a response to Ye. Still haven't heard a response to Ross. Why do we get to pick and choose who needs to speak and when? That's what lets me know you a shill. Yeah, man, it's just a lot of nonsense going on. With folks saying certain things and saying a lot of stuff that y'all gonna have to stand on, man. Y'all gonna have to stand on these takes. Because when he come back out, who thinks that he's going to release music into the world and the first thing that he talks about is not going to be this?
Especially with the Heart Part 6 coming.
Who believes that?
I know what I was going to say. I just said that Maul is doing this for podcast views, and I'm just like, we're totally on Kendrick's side, and we've been consistent with it, but we're also a little bit doing it for podcast views as well.
I'm just telling you that it seems like certain people have other motives than just honest opinions.
Yeah, no, I think we've been very honest and unbiased.
Because you're simply saying things about one side that you're not saying about the other.
Somewhat unbiased.
If you're gonna call Kendrick to the table and make him respond, then Drake still got some work to do.
Yeah,
he still has work to do. He's not done. Like the Compton Community College shirt was cute, I guess. I guess it's cute that you made the effort. You took the time to go buy that shirt. Because I know you didn't just have it. That you took the time to go buy that fucking shirt, to post it online, to let everybody know that you still think about Kendrick Lamar.
Facts.
Oh, I knew what I was going to say. To this day, 2 diss tracks later, right? All this trolling shit aside, pieced it up with Rick Ross so I don't have to actually respond to him on track, right? And Like That still has a chokehold on everything.
It's got more streams than everything Drake has put out.
Like Push-Ups is still available to play on. Fam, I heard the Like That remix on the radio last night. I haven't heard Push-Ups on the radio.
Damn.
I haven't heard Push-Ups on the radio.
Damn.
The AI joint might have made it on there just because of the shock value, but gotta pull it down.
Yeah.
Gotta whooping.
Also, Like That might be the one thing preventing Taylor Swift from completely owning the top 10 by herself.
Because Cause so much for the jokes about Taylor Swift controlling his drop because he got a chokehold on the top 10 and she can't get outside.
Well, she does have 9 out of the top 10 though. That's pretty impressive.
I'm just saying.
But no, still crazy.
I'm just saying.
One last thing that I heard, at least, that I thought was kind of interesting before we get into Homegirl. There was a TikTok that I think was also on Twitter, and it was talking about the intro to Push-Ups that has the Who Kid intro. And it was like, oh, is Drake going to do a 50 and make a mixtape with Who Kid? But then they said the bodyguard like Whitney line and said that he might be insinuating that one of the kids is not his, therefore Who Kid?
Fam, we don't have time.
I was like,
I don't have time. First of all,
if he was that strategic,
first of all,
that would be a banger.
I think that's a reach.
That's probably a reach.
It's a reach.
That's probably a reach.
I think it was much plainer because we're not.
You have to have the proof.
Yeah, we're not accustomed to that from this person. Not that multi-layered. And then secondly, you're right. You would have to stamp that. I would need to hear that out of his mouth. Like that's exactly what
you would have to have the proof.
Like stamp that. No. Only thing he has to do, the ground is laid. We got the circumstantial evidence. Mm-hmm. All he has to do is claim it. I don't think he ever will.
That too.
I don't think he ever will.
But then that would be way more damning.
I think the intent was to invoke his wife's name the same way he did to Pusha T.
Sure.
Because that is the that is the skill set that we're dealing with lyrically.
Sure. All right, let's talk about My Brother and Me / Insecure, Amanda Seales.
How did I forget that she was on My Brother and Me?
I only remembered because I just saw a picture of all of them.
Yeah, she don't even look like her. I don't think she looks. She doesn't look today what she look. It sounds weird to say that because of course she doesn't, but she definitely doesn't look today like she came from that kid. She just looked different to me. I don't know.
Sure, but yes, My Brother and Me alumni / Insecure. Mm-hmm. Plus, she had a podcast or something, and then she
was on a lot of stuff.
Just generally annoying personality.
She was very happy about her time on the show with Jeff Foxworthy and some other, white folks down on NBC. She was very happy about that.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Because Jeff Foxworthy stuck up for her when she said that she didn't want to pretend and drink. Fam, this interview, there was so many shades of Cat Williams in this interview, and I felt like I knew how it was going to play. But I still wanted her to get down to the insecure of it all. That's what I was here for. Sure. We got so much more than that, but that's what I showed up for. Mm-hmm. I would say that the insecure part probably frustrated me the most,
as it should have.
But the I guess the irony of it all is that she comes out net neutral because of the host. Because of the host. Yeah. And it's like, look, man, I get it. Like, the whole setup is supposed to be casual conversation. We in front of this fucking fireplace. You got this nice ass setup, this leather furniture. We drinking cognac. Like, we supposed to be laid back having a conversation. Mm-hmm. But, like, no, you're literally not. You're posting this for consumption. These people are ranting and rambling on, and they're setting the table for you, and the only thing you got in response for them is, that's what she did. Oh my God, that's so petty. Why'd she do that? Oh my God.
Well, the Cat Williams interview is the most viewed interview on YouTube, so I think he's smelling himself a little bit, and I think he knows. Oh, there's a formula to this. However, it kind of ruined.
No, fam, it's so fleeting. You don't get. I don't know. I won't tell him what he gets. Right? He's been on TV for a long time.
Sure.
But this isn't TV. What we doing here right now is not television.
Agreed.
Right? The dependability of the numbers is not what it is on television, on cable. Right? This is not FS1. There is a guaranteed amount of eyeballs that is going to be available to FS1 every day in perpetuity as long as they're on the network. Right?
You know what?
Unless they start losing market share. It doesn't work like that on YouTube. It's much more static.
I would even argue that as a viewer, at least for FS1 and some of the other sports shows that he's been on, I am watching for Shannon Sharp. Mm-hmm. Whereas with this, I'm kind of watching for Cat Williams. I am watching for Monique. I'm watching
that you're bringing on. Sure.
Yeah, so like dial it down a little bit.
I think he would benefit a little bit from. I don't know if he needs somebody else there to balance it out. So, like, he can play the polite host that's just kind of there for the conversation. And then somebody else can, like, ask the hard-hitting questions, can question a narrative, can, like, reposition, play devil's advocate, offer a different point of view at some point that challenges what it is the person is saying. But far too often with his interviews, he's giving people the full runway to say whatever and just taking it as face value. Yeah. And then it comes through that way on the video. And then the people watching it do the same thing. Like he's kind of ushering them to the answer without being critical of what's being said in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Shannon Sharpe is really good at some things, but he's really bad at some things as an interviewer as well. Mm. And because of that, like you said, I think he does probably need maybe some sort of other person or something to kind of help him out with that, because it just comes through. In cases like this, it kind of ruins the interview a little bit.
And it was like, I wanted him to like go ahead and get after her on some of this stuff that she's saying. But the only time he wanted to speak up was to defend the racist teacher. I was like, Shannon, come on, man. Come on, dog. She even said about 20 things that didn't sound right to me, or that at least warranted questioning.
Yes.
And he yucking her wrong. But when it got down to that damn teacher
was not the thing.
You mind that white woman. If she doesn't want to be corrected in front of the rest of these black children, you sit there and be quiet, mulatto baby. And I was like, yo, Shannon, why is that the time that you choose to push back?
The wrong time.
The worst time. It was like I said, ended up making her look better.
Yeah.
But then it's like, set Shannon Sharpe aside for a second now that we've addressed him. Mm-hmm. Because he was definitely out there. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl.
He can do that from time to time.
Stepping. The autism diagnosis, like that one really stuck out to me. Like, girl, listen to me. I think we've already entered into a place where people have largely trivialized mental health. Mm-hmm. We went through a era where it was like an awakening. People were getting more information than they ever had on their mental status. People were assessing themselves where they were never doing that in the past. And so it was like an information boom. And with that, people take a hold of it. They monetize it. They try to find a way to, victimize other people based off of what they're exhibiting or how they feed into it, right? They're longing for it, how I can try to galvanize that crowd. And it ends up being something trivial. It ends up being something that's just part of social media that you talk about, like my mental health. Mm-hmm. We cannot get into a place where you can tell yourself that you are on the spectrum, right? Like outside of any professional diagnosis, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. And furthermore, for the people who do like Amanda, who are fans of Amanda, that like her intelligence, first and foremost, you can't be a truth-telling intellectual and diagnose yourself with a mental disorder. Absolutely not. What are we talking about? And I hear, a lot of people saying, oh, she didn't mean to say that she diagnosed herself, or she wasn't trying to say that. What I heard her say in real time is that I have been recently diagnosed with something of another on the spectrum disorder or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the term was that she called it. But a form, she said it used to be Asperger's, but Asperger was a Nazi, apparently. So they're not calling it that no more. It's another name for it.
I didn't know that, but I haven't heard that term. So,
but you and I've worked with people with Asperger's. I've met people with Asperger's. I have some with Asperger's in my family, but like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, let me WebMD myself real quick and come up with an autism diagnosis. You can't do that. You can't do that, and then you can't do that. And then also be seen as this responsible, intelligent truth teller. That's horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's trash. And that was my main point with all this stuff with it, the insecure stuff with Issa Rae. Fam, you gotta kind of give this some time to play out. You've only heard her. You've only heard Amanda Seales.
Yeah.
Right? And even her describing the situation sounded like, okay, boom, I show up at the party, Jesse Williams invited me. Mm-hmm. Right? I get up there, go to the list, give them my name. They said I'm not invited, said I can't come in. Right? So immediately, right then, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm asking what the fuck is going on.
Okay, after you get your answer on why you can't come in or whatever, somebody run off. She keeps saying somebody running off to ask and get the answer or whatever. What are you doing?
Leaving.
Oh, no, that's not what I would say.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. Y'all don't want me, I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
I would call the person who invited me.
Sure.
Like at this point, I'm meeting resistance to get in. Somebody asked me to come here. Somebody notable. Somebody with a name. Somebody with some cachet. I'm calling the person who invited me.
I'm going back home and watching Netflix.
All right, bet. I can't. All right, cool. Hold on. I'm about to make something happen. I'm about to make something shake real fast. I'm about to make him walk up. She slid away from why she ain't called Jesse Williams so fucking quick, like as if there's something deeper and darker around Jesse Williams that we just not looking at. I don't even know what the hell that was. Shannon Sharp said, "Well, why you ain't called Jesse?" She said, I think I did. I mean, I think I text him. But
right,
anyway,
him. While he's at a party that he's hosting.
It just went right back to, hold on, woman, who asked you to come here? Jesse Williams. Mm-hmm. Who did you think to talk to when you pulled up and met this opposition on the first time? I guess not Jesse Williams, right? So boom, she's walking away. Somebody said, "Oh no, where you going, Amanda? Ooh, come back." Listen, I get that. I feel that energy. It's real collegey. I understand. You done found somebody walking out like, "No, we about to come back in. Come back with us." Da, 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 da. They literally told you to leave, that you're not allowed in. And I don't think coming with another patron was going to get you in if Jesse Williams, who's already in the party, who invited you, wasn't going to get you in.
Yeah.
Why are you able to walk in with somebody you randomly pass coming in and out, but you're not able to call Jesse Williams to let you into the fucking party? So let me hop off Jesse Williams here for a second. Maybe Jesse Williams was indisposed and she ain't trying to, let him know what he was doing. Cool. Boom. Jesse Williams was busy. So a second person said, "Oh no. No. I'm big time. No. You're getting in this party." Now, you've already been turned away twice. Mm-hmm. Initially by yourself and again with another person. Mm-hmm. But this, no, man, he been in Hollywood for years. Everybody know him, man. He love me. You know what I'm saying? That's when she got off on her story about the Jeff Foxworthy shit, which I thought was another shot to Issa Rae. Because, like, she kept bringing up Insecure when it wasn't required for her, when she wasn't being asked about Insecure.
Yeah.
She's like, and this has nothing to do with Insecure, by the way. But I loved my time on that NBC show with Jeff Foxworthy because he stood up for me. He stood up for me when they said that we had to drink and I had to pretend to drink because I don't drink, even though she's an actor. I just didn't like having to pretend to drink and I don't drink. And Jeff Foxworthy stood up for me and said, "Yeah, I don't want to do it either." He stood up for me.
Wow.
I guess that's what she expected from Issa Rae, and that's why I guess Issa Rae is not as down for black people as we thought.
Not Issa Rae, not Miss. I'm rooting for everybody that's black.
Anyways, the point is, be wary of I am the truth teller type people because they usually lie a lot.
Yeah. Especially when there's multiple sides to a story. W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. Because I definitely didn't intro it. We just kind of started talking.
Yeah, I didn't know we were starting with Dubs and L's, but we'll
are we not?
Get some stuff together. No, man, go ahead, bro. You start.
Well, I was gonna say I'm going first anyway.
You, brethren,
that's
do your thing.
Crazy, especially since I did this last week and you shamed me for not having my shit ready.
21, do your thing. Do your thing.
Are you Drake in this situation?
21.
That's wild.
Yeah, with an outfit for me.
That's wild.
Can you do something for me?
Should I start with dubs, L's, or toss-ups?
Dubs.
I'm giving a dub to Pusha T. Last week I talked about how 2024 is going to be a good one for hip hop, and apparently Pusha T heard the call, and apparently he's dropping an album this year.
Nice. Well, I saw that it said Pusha T or
Clips. The Clips. Yes, I forgot about that. Yep.
Are we less excited if? Well, you know what?
I want
My
either
favorite
one.
song on then what was the last album?
Donda?
No, the last Pusha album. What's wrong with you?
Oh, sorry.
I
was thinking of the Jesus is King clip song.
What was the name of that album?
Daytona?
No.
It's Almost Dry.
It's Almost Dry. There you go.
It's Almost Dry.
My favorite song on there is I Pray For You.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember what the other song was.
Yeah, so if it sounds like that, yeah, I fucks with it.
I mean, it's
I don't think I'm not less excited. I'm more excited for a Pusha solo because he's kind of like on his Nas streak right now with Daytona and It's Almost Dry. I really need him to complete this trifecta. The old man trifecta is something that very few can do.
Yes.
Right? Nas, maybe Jay-Z if he ever raps again. Kanye to a certain degree. He's not as old as some of these guys, but he's getting up there.
He's over 40.
I guess it counts.
Is Rick Ross old?
Yes.
So then, yeah.
Rick Ross.
They're all over 40.
So yeah, man, the old man triple threat is almost unheard of. It's rare air.
How old is Future? Future is up there too.
I don't think Future counts.
He doesn't, but he's up there.
I don't think Future.
He is 40.
I don't think the Prophet counts. He don't count.
That's a fact. He is 40, but you know what? Future is Future, so he's a little different.
Yeah, he's the Prophet.
I'm giving a dub to Reggie Bush.
Got his Heisman back.
Yeah, well deserved considering the new stances that the NCAA have taken on certain things. So, yeah, congratulations to Reggie Bush. Now, there's a lot of Buckeye fans who say, oh, yeah, well, this means we should get all the stuff back for Tattoo Gate. And it's just like, bro, can you just let Reggie Bush live in his moment where he gets his Heisman back? We can chill on certain things. Just be happy that Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman back.
Hey, fam, I was ultra annoyed with y'all this weekend about that shit. But then I had to realize what fan base I was dealing with, and then I realized it's kind of went back to normal.
Not everybody is like that.
Okay.
Sheesh. Okay. This was quick. My last dub is going to my nephew. So we went to the spring game a couple weeks ago. Speak of the Buckeyes. And he started talking about how much he really wanted to play football.
That's what's up.
And it was like, okay, cool. So my brother hit me up and was like, man, do you know about any camps or anything? So I reached out to some people and found like a trainer. Essentially, okay. He's on the east side. He's on Refugee. He works with little kids and older kids. So my nephew's on the cusp. He's 12. And so one of them is like 8 to 12, and then the other one's like 12 or 13 to 17 or something like that.
Okay.
And so he came in, he did the stuff with the little kids, which most of the kids, they like separated them. So there was like real little kids, and then there was like mostly 12-year-olds. So he did the little thing with them. He worked for about an hour. And then my brother was like, all right, well, you can stay and we can watch the older guys so that, you know, when you come back, we can work with the older guys. And my nephew was like, nah, if I'm staying, I want to work with them.
Play. Yeah.
I want to do what they're doing. Like, I'm not going to stay and watch. I want to actually do it. So then an hour and a half later, my guy is out there in his 3-point stance. We got to get a couple things corrected. But for his first day going into it, proud.
What is he playing?
Receiver. Wants to be a receiver.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know.
Just got to plant some maize and blue seeds, man. That's good.
No.
That's what's up. I'll be at the next practice. Me and MJ will be there.
Absolutely
After
not.
his flag football game, we will be there.
Absolutely no maize and blue.
Shit. I was looking for something. He only got another couple of weeks for flag football. So when he done, we can start hitting up the trainer too.
Sure.
I'm plant some of these seeds, man.
I don't know about no maize and blue.
I know Leighton ain't preaching the way he need to. I got this, y'all. I got this. I'm gonna make sure the next great Ohio receiver, just like Desmond Howard, ends up where he needs to be.
Gross. Don't you ever try to recruit family over here to know maize and blue. No navy blue and yellow bullshit.
Yeah.
What's Johnny talking about? I know Johnny's saying something crazy in the chat right now. Anyway, OSU fans have no chill. Maize and blue seeds planted. All right, y'all got to chill. He didn't know about Goo Punch.
No. We're not talking about that right now.
Be on the same side. Anyway, all right, let's go on to these L's. My first L is going to this whole Meg and the cameraman situation. Because for the life of me, I can't decide on whether or not this is just a cash grab or if bro was really going through it over Meg having sex with another woman in the car.
Okay.
And him being trapped.
I shouldn't have to do this, but I will, just so we can be fair. Let's flip it around.
I'm totally willing to be fair.
Let's flip it around.
Absolutely.
All right. So it's not Meg the Stallion. It's Matt the Clydesdale.
Matt the Clydesdale is crazy.
Matt the Clydesdale.
You could have used another person.
He's a country singer, and Matt has a female friend that's riding back with him in the car, and his agent is there. His female agent starts having sex with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Makes his assistant watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Tells her, "You better not tell anybody that this happened."
That was the crazy part.
Are we fair. Like? Is it very hard to decipher why this is wrong?
He didn't consent, and in that, the whole situation is wrong.
Flat out, plain and simple.
Yes.
Period.
Agreed.
Like there's no further dialogue.
Agreed.
Yeah, no further dialogue after that.
Now that that's being said, I would consent. So Meg, holla at me.
Okay. Sicko behavior over here.
Moving on to another female rapper who is doing some crazy shit. JT is out here making outlines of how you can stream her music in a way that is wholly beneficial.
Fam, I'm not doing
to
all
only
that.
Her. That list was
she
crazy.
had a list for Apple Music and Spotify.
That list
I'm
was
not
crazy.
doing all of that, bro. Turn off your shuffle. Back out of this. Clear your cookies. Post your date of birth and social.
You're turning your fans into stream farms. What is happening?
I'm not doing this.
Why?
Not doing it.
If I like your song, I will play it and maybe play it again. I'm not doing all this whole outline you've got.
You know what they should do? And it won't work because the biggest streaming services have deals with the biggest artists. But if ever they were able to get a few of them out, they were able to get, Beyonce clear and free, Taylor Swift clear and free. Who else is huge right now? Whoever the biggest names in music are at the
Lotto.
time. Shout out to Lotto, but no.
You don't fuck with Lotto?
No, I'm saying I'm talking about like titans in the industry.
Oh, sorry.
I
was thinking female rappers for some reason.
Fucking Shania Twain and goddamn Cher and Celine Dion and
sure. You said Beyonce.
If they were able to get free of their distribution deals, right? Drake is never getting free of his Universal deal.
For sure.
But if they were able to get free of it and decided not to post any further projects on the DSPs and only sell physical copies, line up with a distributor who is interested in going into a partnership with you for physical copies only. Leave these fucking streaming media conglomerates alone and force people back to the physical market.
That would be a lot, because how many people have things that they can play the physical copies
I think if Taylor Swift said, I am no longer putting my shit on Apple Music, I'm only selling my album on physical copies, I think the Swifties alone
would definitely
single-handedly
bring Panasonic and Walkman back.
A renaissance in physical copies, CDs.
You would see a lot of people with CD fucking play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how like all the retro shit start coming back in style around COVID because we had nothing to do and people start rediscovering shit.
Yeah,
we would rediscover the Walkman. A little hook on the belt.
Yeah.
You trying to get the anti-skip one so you can actually run with it.
Or would it be cassette? Cassette would be a little nuts.
Cassette would be easier to make.
Yeah,
I feel like it probably wouldn't be that because it's too far back in platform. Like,
fam, I'm not going.
They would have to make new cassette players.
Rewinding.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, no, something that forces people away from the streaming services. But you would have to convince the biggest stars to do it to start hurting people away from it. And currently, Beyonce's literally involved in the streaming service, so she has no vested interest in not.
Is she?
Tidal.
Is she? Is Tidal still a big thing?
I mean, it's alive. She has money in it.
Fair.
So she has no vested interest in seeing streaming fail.
Sure. Yeah, no, seeing somebody like Taylor Swift seeing Taylor Swift specifically pushing CDs out of her trunk would be nuts. But she'd have a line going all the way down the street.
I didn't say she had to sell them out of her trunk, but like...
Sure, but that'd be a funny sight.
A funny quirk.
Seeing Taylor Swift like Master P selling CDs out of her trunk would be nuts.
I don't know why they didn't think about this a long time ago. It's probably because they all got wrangled into these fucking slave deals.
The last one that I've seen do anything like that, and it was a little bit before streaming, was Nipsey with the $100 CD.
Right.
And people bought that shit.
Independent. So. No major labels.
Yeah.
And look what that did for his career.
Yeah. No, agreed. Hove bought one. So, all right. I probably should have went from the Meg situation to this one because it honestly would have probably made a good horny police segment. Because Ye has decided to come up with a great business idea called Yeezy Porn or Yeezy Prawn. I guess we're on YouTube, so. And I'm giving an L to the people who aren't really Ye fans because I've always known Ye to be a huge porn addict. So it's just a little crazy that people are just like, whoa, where is this coming from? Even despite the whole, him being a whole new Christian thing. I've always known him
definitely
to be,
not a thing anymore.
I've always known him to be really into porn. So much so that he married Kim K and said, yeah, my wife has a tape at every single moment.
This man is getting sued. Apparently they had like jails somewhere in the school. And he was yelling at all the black employees.
I didn't hear
that. One slide. I never know what to believe about like what was going on at the Donda school. I really couldn't fathom who the fuck was sending their kids there in the first place.
People who think they're going to meet Kanye.
I was absolutely amazed that there were actual educators there. That was like a real thing that they were doing. And it wasn't just kind of like summer camp.
I would probably look at some of those educators and see what their curriculum is or what their background is.
But as far as Yeezy porn, I have no interest in any of that. I don't have time for that.
No, I don't either. But I'm not surprised by it. And that's...
My man is off the cocktail, and I don't think he has anybody around him who's going to put him back on it.
So Dallin Hayden decided to enter the transfer portal.
Who's Dallin Hayden, Josh? You know we have a lot of people in the chat who don't watch college football.
Sure. And we just kind of had a little bit of a football conversation not too long ago. Dallin Hayden is was Ohio State's third string running back behind Travion Henderson, who was a starter, and Quinshawn Judkins, who was a recent transfer into Ohio State. And Dallin Hayden saw that, didn't like it, and decided to hit the transfer portal, which is something that Buckeye fans have been fearing for some time, but knew was ultimately inevitable. I'm giving him a toss-up because of the team that he decided to go to. While I do feel like Colorado will be, or has the chance at least, to be a good team, especially now that they've made their transition to the Big 12.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of work to do, and to join them right now, I thought it was a little crazy.
You want a semi-spicy take?
Sure.
I think this is a make or break year for Deion.
I would agree with that.
I think this is a make or break year. I was surprised to see that Alex Graham, the top 100 cornerback, actually committed there. I thought it was horseshit when people were crystal balling him to Colorado, because I, for the life of me, couldn't fathom the former top 100, I think it was a top 50 recruit, Cormani McLean, right? who just transferred out of there, whether it was because he didn't have the right mentality or Deion Sanders ran him out of there. Either way, that surely doesn't look good. And you're not ranked as high as Carmani McClain was. Like, nothing could compute to make me think like they weren't good last year. They only won 4 games. I just saw the graphic today. Colorado has 0 players drafted in 7 rounds of football. Meaning all of that, I'm bringing my Louis, my luggage, changed the roster over 3 times in the offseason. He didn't have 1 drafted player, not 1. When Michigan was in the doldrums of college football, winning 3-7 games a year with Rich Rod, they had at least one.
He had a player drafted at Jackson State, didn't he?
Fam, he had more players drafted from Jackson State than he has from Colorado at this point. How are you folding yourself in the pretzels to get to Colorado? Montrez Walker committed there this weekend as well.
Nikhai Hill-Green, like Johnny just pointed out.
What's that?
Nikhai Hill-Green committed to
Colorado. Fam, I don't really understand. I don't get it. And we probably have to have a deeper conversation about NIL. But that's not what this is with Colorado, because they don't have a war chest like that. They don't have bread like that.
Legit. But I just don't like the move from Dallin Hayden over to Colorado.
I think it made sense. He has a quarterback that's going to be able to take pressure off of the running game, and they don't have any. They had Dylan Edwards, who was a freshman and didn't really like take over the role in his freshman year.
But there's no other team that you can get starting burn from that has a better line. There's probably some that have better lines than our team even. He probably could have got behind.
Maybe Wisconsin. I could have seen him at Wisconsin. I could see him at Iowa.
I could see Iowa too, but
I could see him.
Who's Iowa's quarterback?
Cade. Ugh.
Still?
Imagine hating on JJ when you was a year ahead of him or 2 years ahead of him, and he's in the NFL, and you're coming back to Iowa.
He is? Because of his injury.
Yeah, congrats, bud.
Damn.
Congrats. My first L is going out to LeBron.
Your first L?
Yeah, first L. Going out to LeBreezy. It's not very hard to figure out why. You know, I'm a Lakers fan, and we are getting our ass whooped at the moment. No, we're not down 0-3. We won, didn't we? Did we not win this last game?
Pretty sure
we didn't win last night. Ain't no way they lost that game.
They were losing when I was watching it. Oh, y'all won.
I was about to say, I know they won that game.
Oh, no, I was saying 3-0. I didn't even watch the game last night.
You scared shit out of me.
Y'all were down 0-3. That's what I said. That's what I meant.
Anywho, that man. So first of all, besides the 6 turnovers, like I've already kind of checked out on the Lakers. I didn't really expect much, but there was this one clip where I think it was like in the third quarter, where like he was trying to get Darvin Ham to challenge a play, and the man absolutely like jumped up with 2 feet and stomped on the ground like the biggest baby back biznai I've ever seen in my life.
This is the first time I've ever seen him do that.
No, it's not. But like it's getting old, fam. It is old.
I would imagine it would get old when you're not winning.
Like especially like okay, last game he dribbled the ball off his foot, turn around, start yelling at Torian Prince. Like, are you having old man senile moments on the court right now?
Okay.
Are you having Joe Biden moments out there on the court? But what was that Torian Prince for? And then just color me different. But like. Maybe I trust the guys that are paid to watch the replay sitting right next to me on an iPad to tug me and tell me to challenge it if we have enough time to challenge it at all, and I don't just look to you for decisions on the court. How about that? How about I coach, you play, and we get along a lot better? How about that?
LeBron is basically the coach wherever he goes.
No, he's not. No, the fuck he's not.
Yeah, he's basically the coach.
No, he's basically not.
Darvin Ham, Tyronn Lue.
And that's why it doesn't work.
David Blatt.
And that's why it doesn't work.
I'm just saying. Like, he likes to think of himself
trying to
as
be
that.
lazy and be the coach at the same time don't fucking work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Can't be the player coach if you're not sliding your feet, bro. I don't want to hear it. If you're dribbling the ball off your feet through double teams, I don't want to hear you yelling at anybody. 6 turnovers? I don't. If I ever see his 6'9" ass jump up with both feet like that again and stomp his damn feet, not only am I going to turn the game off, but I might just have to hang up my Lakers fandom until he retires.
That's crazy. What if he wins you another one now?
That shit turns my stomach.
He's never win another one.
Never, ever. And he threw some fucking conniptions. But like a spoiled ass kid in a department store. Yeah!
I've seen him do that multiple times as a Cavalier. So I mean,
oh my God! He gave up a transition layup.
He did that when J.R. Smith didn't. When J.R. Smith didn't shoot in the finals, he did that.
No. The play wasn't still going on when that happened.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
When he showed him up, they were walking to the sidelines. He was like, "Nigga, what are you doing?" Yeah. No, this man stopped, jumped, threw his fist, turned his back as the play is going by him, and they got a bucket.
Okay, that's different for sure.
And in an era where we're stopping games to celebrate how many points this fucker has scored, I absolutely do not want to see you crying. I don't want to see that shit, man. It turns my stomach to see that. That's our best player. It's really not too hard to figure out why the Lakers have had a hard time getting it the fuck together. Why the starting point guard is scrolling Twitter on the fucking bench while he has 1 point. It's not hard to figure out. Attitude reflects leadership. And if you're the best at everything in this world like you proclaim it to, then be the best at leading this team and not screaming at them when you dribble the ball off your big toe.
I mean, the Lakers are just never going to get it together against the Nuggets anyway. So,
anywho,
prove me wrong.
That's
Lakers.
LeBron's L. Next L I got is going out to, excuse me. That's supposed to be a dub. That is supposed to be a dub. Let's leave that one alone. Found an
Wait, who is y'all starting point guard? D'Lo?
D'Lo, yes.
Okay. Because Spencer Dinwiddie also hasn't been doing anything either.
Trashy, trash. And Gabe Vincent. Why do players come to the Lakers and become trash? That shit happens so often. These things have great seasons. Lakers get them, trash.
All right, my fault. I didn't mean to distract you.
No, I found a good article by the Associated Press. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the Elijah McClain story out there in Colorado. The EMT was charged with his death, but unfortunately, she was able to get off with probation. She won't serve any jail time.
Probably didn't have any priors or anything like that.
I think that story sparked this research that's being done here. So the AP says medics across the U.S. have been quietly injecting sedatives to subdue people and detained. To subdue people that are detained by the police. So basically, this practice of injecting folks with sedatives for the police on the behalf of the police has been going on across the country for decades.
Which I've never seen happen.
Like,
before.
I've never actually seen that before. But to know that, like, there. Hold on, let me see if I can find some numbers here. So
and I definitely don't like that.
Some context.
For obvious reasons.
At least 94 people died after they were given sedatives and restrained by police from 2012 through 2021.
That's too much.
According to the findings by the AP in collaboration with Frontline, that's PBS, and the Howard Centers for Investigative Journalism. That's nearly 10% of the more than 1,000 deaths identified during the investigation. Holy shit.
That's way too much.
During the process of the investigation, they found 1,000 deaths, right? So 10% of them happened in between 2012 and 2021. 94 people.
That's insane.
Yo, I don't even know what to tell you what to do. Like, just fucking scream bloody murder, I guess. I guess that's going to be making more likely that you're going to get
I was going to say, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't have
Don't get arrested in private?
I don't have an answer for that.
And then, like, is it always that the medics just happen to be there? Like, when somebody calling the police on you, they don't usually just send the ambulance. Sure. So, like, how are they showing up? Do they call them and be like, hey, look, man, we need y'all help. He tripping out. Do y'all meet up at a fucking black site and you give him the sticker? I want to hear some of these goddamn stories.
And the fact that it's killing some people means you got some fucked up mixture in there.
Some bullshit. Or they're not really taking into account whatever the substance may do to them, what kind of afflictions the person may have going into it. I couldn't imagine they're giving very much medical care if they're illegally injecting people with sedatives.
And at that point, anybody can just walk up and say, oh, yeah, I'm an EMT.
Sure could. Next L I got is going out to the number 2 pick? No, number 3 pick in the NFL draft.
Drake May.
Number 4 pick in the NFL draft.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh yeah. So I've kind of been staying off of this, and I didn't really think it was going to hurt his draft stock. That's why most of the reason why I didn't say anything. But your man has had the weirdest offseason of what was supposed to be the most generational talent at wide receiver Ohio State has ever seen. Second coming as his father.
Didn't perform at the combine.
Didn't sign the player agreement. The pro day, right? Didn't do the player agreement, so he's not going to be in Madden. He's not going to have his jersey sold. What else didn't he do? Oh, he did sign a deal with New Balance.
Yes, he did.
For football apparel?
Because they're going to get into football apparel, bro. You don't know them for that because they're getting into it with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wouldn't you rather have the best receiver in years at Nike or Under Armour?
Well, maybe they didn't offer the bag that New Balance did.
I'm sure they didn't. That's synonymous with, top level talent consistently and not
back up the Brinks truck.
Something that's synonymous to geriatrics and fresh fits with polos.
Okay.
That's what those are for, but certainly
not. Now they're trying to get
certainly
into,
not football.
Just like Under Armour got into basketball with Steph Curry.
Right. I feel like that was so much less egregious than bringing New Balance to football.
Or actually, just like New Balance with Kawhi Leonard getting into basketball.
Again, so much less egregious than New Balance cleats. Can you imagine?
Until I see them, I can't.
Could you imagine the first person to come on the field with some New Balance cleats?
Give me some 574s in a cleat. I'd rock that.
Could you imagine the hell that man is going to catch?
No.
For having New Balance cleats. You got Jordan 1 cleats on? Sure. You got Jordan 5, Jordan 4s, Jordan 7s? Hell yeah.
No, but New Balance.
You got 504s on your feet and you playing footballs? I'm sorry, not jeans. 574s.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. New Balance is enjoying a resurgence in the sneaker game. So then... maybe they can make it happen for football.
This has been the oddest offseason for a lottery pick that I've seen in a while.
The reason being, he has a Hall of Famer father.
I think his dad is fucking him over. What could be the benefit of him not getting jersey sale money? What's the benefit of that? What's the benefit of him not being on Madden this year? Why? How does that help him?
He's holding out.
For what? They have standard agreements. They're not going to pay you any more than they pay anybody else. What are you holding out for?
Better deal. Give me a better deal.
From who?
Players Association. Give me a better deal.
You think Marvin Harrison deserves a better deal for
money, please?
Madden? He deserves a better deal for Madden?
For both. I don't believe he deserves one. I'm saying nobody ever holds out for them. So I'm assuming he's employing this as a way to get a better deal. That's the only other answer. What other answer is there?
But again, this is not like his contract with his franchise. This is what Madden pays players for their licensing and their likeness in the game. It's not a...
But if anybody has any idea of how this should work...
Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Marvin Harrison more than DK Metcalf and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and players who have actually played in the NFL.
None of those.
Marvin Harrison has more cachet than them.
But none of those players have a guy in their ear who has been talking to them since they were a kid. Who is a Hall of Fame player.
I don't doubt that he's talking to his son. What I doubt is that he's giving him sound advice. It's not sound advice to do your draft process differently than any other player has ever done it.
Well,
different than he even did it. He didn't skip the draft. He didn't skip the combine.
As far as the draft process, though, it worked.
Fam, was Marvin Harrison not already going to go top 10?
Sure.
What do you mean it worked? Were the Cardinals not already going to pick him?
He didn't have to put in any extra work besides actually doing private workouts with the Cardinals, and he still got the same.
We don't want to try and be number one. We don't want to try and convince Chicago to maybe keep Justin Fields and maybe I'm the receiver that can get us over the top. Maybe we don't want to go number one.
I think that was already kind of the ball was at least rolling. I do not believe
that any of these moves, whether it was maybe you don't run the 40 if you think you're going to come up slow. Maybe you don't run the 40 at the draft at the pro day. Catching the football in shorts should be the easiest thing in the world for Marvin Harrison Jr. And so for him to not do that at the pro day or the draft, and then follow that up by not interviewing with anybody, and then follow that up by this fucking New Balance shit.
But he did have private workouts with teams.
It's all weird.
So he probably had an inkling that
why are you signaling so hard that you don't want to work out in front of people?
Because it's not for them. He don't need to do the extra work that everybody else is doing. He's a generational talent.
Well, you're going to have to play in front of everybody, so I don't know what difference.
But do you not think he's going to do good once he gets in the NFL?
Honestly, bro, this stinks of the same type of LeBron shit. Like, this is my son. He's better. You know, I'm going to make sure he doesn't have to do what everybody else has to do. He's better than that. He's above it. And honestly, it's going to put more pressure on him to perform in year one. I don't understand why sports dads do this to this degree. Believe me, I understand the feeling of wanting to live vicariously through your kid to get a chance to go back and do it again. I absolutely do. But, like, I would never get to the point where, like, I'm going to damage his career because of my viewpoint, because of what I think is better. I'm not going to have him regress in a way, or not regress, but do something that can only be seen as detrimental.
I think
there was nothing keeping him from working out at the pro day. Why not just go out there and catch balls from Stroud or catch balls from whoever was throwing at y'all pro day?
I think while this does add pressure, sure, there is no more pressure on anybody than, say, a Caleb Williams or at this point a Michael Penix Jr.
I don't know, man. He's up there because Caleb Williams does have a lot of doubters. He has a lot of people that thinks he's a bust. Plus, on top of that, Caleb Williams' daddy didn't play in the NFL. He's not a Hall of Famer. So people are expecting you to at least equal that. Not, and the prevailing thought is that he's going to be better.
Yeah, I would say he's going to be better.
Okay, so that's more pressure.
But I would say this. He's probably given more time than just the first year to perform. Whereas Caleb Williams, you better perform immediately.
When you act like a freaking weirdo during your process and you don't talk to people, you don't work out in public, and you do all this extra shit, I think that paints a target on your back. You're making people look at you. Why don't you just go out there and compete like everybody else and prove that you are the best?
But I would say this.
It stinks like I have concerns and I don't want to show them to everybody.
But I would say this. It's all unprecedented. There's not a lot of people who've done this before. And if it does lead to something,
sure,
then it would make sense.
Again,
it may not make sense to you now, but it's possible that it could make sense later.
And there is no deal that exists where he gets paid more for his jerseys than everybody else, or he gets paid more for being on Madden than everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know what the play is.
That is a recipe for a lawsuit if I ever saw one. But sure, let's just wait it out and see how it goes.
I don't know what the play is, but I would assume that Marvin Harrison Sr. would know what the play is more than I would.
Alrighty. First dub I got is going out to Michigan football. I won't lambast because we've talked a lot about football this evening. But they did have 13 players drafted. They fell short of the record they were trying to get, but 13 is still pretty impressive to me.
It is impressive.
Lot within the first 5 rounds. Blake Corum went second round. Mike Sanders still went second round. The LA Chargers were able to pick up 2 of Harbaugh's former players, and Junior Colson and Cornelius Johnson. Bengals picked up some more Michigan players.
Okay. I didn't know Cortland Anderson-Johnson went to the Chargers.
Yep. Bengals picked up some more Michigan players. They picked up Chris Jenkins.
And A.J. Barner?
A.J. Barner went to...
bullshit, but thank you, because now Kate Stover is going to the Texans.
No. A.J. Barner went to the Seahawks. Eric All.
That's what it was.
Is
right.
at the...
You're right.
Now, listen to me. Eric All played all of 2 games at Iowa. There is no tape from him at Iowa that's even evaluatable. Like, oh, yeah, this is the type of player Eric All is. There isn't enough film of him at Iowa at all. There is no comparison between Eric All and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow competed in the spring game for a starting spot. Joe Burrow played an entire season before his Heisman season at LSU on LSU's roster. There is no comparison between Eric All and Joe Burrow. Comparison. Other than the fact that they changed schools.
And they were developed at one school first, and they went to another school.
I'm not implicitly claiming Eric All, but I am saying that he got a season-ending injury within the first 3 games of the season when he transferred to Iowa. So what did he gain from Iowa?
But
lodging for the last 9 months.
He still left the Hawkeye, though.
He wasn't developed. He didn't even practice with them.
Claim them, though. Homeboy claimed them.
Who's that?
Guy on Twitter.
Oh, he claimed Eric All? Yeah, I'm not implicitly claiming him. If you're asking me who has more credit for him, Iowa or Michigan, it's Michigan. He didn't play at Iowa. He played 2 seasons at Michigan. Everything you know about Eric All as a player happened at Michigan. Absolutely nothing happened except for time off.
What happened?
And a free stay.
What would happen though if Eric All himself would consider himself to be a Hawkeye?
He can say whatever the fuck he wants. Tape is tape. Empirical is what it is. You only played 3 games at Iowa. One of them you were injured in.
Yeah, but I'm
for
a
the
Hawkeye.
Entire season.
I'm a Hawkeye.
So you didn't even really develop at Iowa because most of the year you were there, you weren't practicing. You were rehabbing.
What is Cade?
If he makes it to the NFL, I guess he can be either or.
Okay,
you can say either or.
What if Cade has his best year ever
at Iowa? Then I will say Iowa developed Cade McNamara.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
There we go. So that's Michigan football. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that got drafted.
The record was commendable. Ohio State's gonna break that record next year.
Okay, we shall see.
Throwing that out there.
Speaking of Ohio State, as painful as this is going to be, I am going to shout out some Buckeyes and give them a dub. The students protesting the war in Gaza, the genocide in Gaza of the Palestinian civilian population that took their lumps from the lame-ass Columbus PD, that took their lumps from the lame-ass administration at Ohio State that sent the Columbus PD on them, and stood 10 toes down. So if there was ever a time where I would be rooting for Buckeyes, this was probably the only time I will ever.
Or something related to something like that.
So shout out to them for sure.
Crazy that all these protests are going on college campuses around there, but it gives me a little faith in the generation coming up. They're paying attention. Some of them are taking the right side, and a little faith, a little more faith.
The colleges absolutely fucking suck.
Yes, but the students themselves that are.
You want to hear something crazy?
What's up?
So the call of the protest was to divest from Israel, have the university divest from Israel. Do you know that it is illegal per the Ohio State legislature to divest from Israel?
It's illegal to divest from Israel?
So what it does is it prohibits the colleges from doing business with any company that doesn't support Israel openly. Right? And so...
But Israel specifically.
Right. Specifically the state of Israel. And so being that the university itself can't support others who don't support Israel, they themselves can't stop sending money to Israel or it would be illegal.
That's crazy.
And that's not even a... what is our damn governor's name?
DeWine.
DeWine. It's not even a DeWine thing. That happened with Kasich, fam.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God. Why would there ever be a you must be loyal to a foreign power law in our state legislature?
I could see if it was multiple international countries and shit like that, because these colleges are international, but like,
fam, and I promise you, I'm not
Israel
blowing smoke out my
crazy.
butt. This is per Spectrum News last night. It is illegal to stop sending money to Israel if you are an American university and you support AIPAC or Israel or anything like that. That is absolute insanity. I am no longer accepting the talk of, Jewish entities or Jewish lobbyists or Jewish business owners, be it that of like conglomerates, Universal, Disney, Facebook, Sony. Like, I am no longer ignoring the fact that there are a lot of Jewish people who support the state of Israel in places of power, in places of significance, that influence moves like this. It didn't happen by happenstance. It wasn't regular Jewish people in your community that you go shop with at the grocery store that made this happen. It was Jewish people of influence, people who could make things happen, people that have funds to pay lobbyists and pay politicians to push further towards this agenda, so that now it's illegal to criticize them. It's illegal to stop sending your money to them. It's illegal to protest them on college campuses. This is insanity. We don't live in Israel. We don't live in the Middle East. This is America.
I was saying, a lot of people feel the same way. Now, obviously, the colleges don't have anything to do with it, but like funding Ukraine efforts and all that other shit too. Like any kind of funding of any kind of international dispute that we have nothing to do with is insane when we've got our own problems over here.
You are legislating loyalty of a foreign power because they call Israel our greatest ally. Well, not for the last 5 months.
They ain't my ally.
Not for the last 5 months. Well, in all honesty, let's say since 1948. But specifically for the last 5 months, they have been a terror.
Yeah.
Certainly haven't earned the role of number one ally.
Crazy.